So today I am talking with one of the top financial strategists from the Los Angeles area who has been verified as an expert by the National Professional Referral Network. We review hundreds of different professionals in a given area, and what we're going to learn from Leah Siegel today is a lot about financial strategy and or retirement planning and or financial mindset and management and everything in between. And so Leah, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join me on today's call.
Thank you. First of all, you're welcome, and I'm so honored to be here. I find it a privilege. Thank you, Dr. Lynn.
It is my pleasure. A lot of people in your area either have reached or will reach a certain point in their life where they'll ask themselves questions about their finances or their financial situation, both now and in the future. What would you say the biggest challenges are with high net worth individuals, people, families, business owners?
Such a good question. I kind of have like three that come to the top of my mind. The first one being that they're not protecting their assets properly with the right insurances in place. They're relying on self-insuring for, let's just say, a long-term care event when that would drain their assets as opposed to leverage. Another thing is they have outdated plans. They were set up a long time ago, and I kind of compare that to a flip phone versus a smartphone. So you want to be with the up and up and the latest and the greatest. Another thing is they might be losing money in the market. They're not aware that there are better plans that can give them some protection with the upside of the market.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. And I love the word leverage. I think a lot of people can benefit from learning more about that. So thank you for saying that. Who do you typically work with, or what type of clients benefit from working with you the most?
So I do work with everyone, and that's basically because of my background, my situation. If we have time today, we'll get there. But high net worth families, high income earners, business owners, and everybody in between who want to make sure that their assets are transferred to the next generation, multiple generations, with the smallest amount of tax consequences.
Yeah, I love that. Who doesn't want to save the most amount of taxes they can? So that's great. There are a lot of advisors in the Los Angeles area. Can you maybe share a little bit about what makes your approach different?
Sure. I'm proud to share with you that I'm one of a handful of individuals in my field that's duly licensed and specifically trained, has advanced training in tax mitigation, financial strategies for high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals. In fact, I've been handpicked by my firm to train others in my company. I guess you can call me the advisor to advisors. I even developed my own proprietary process called HNTS, that stands for High Net Worth Tax Strategies.
Awesome. Can you maybe share an example of where a client may have come to you with a specific problem and how you were able to help resolve that?
Yes. So I'll give you two instances. I had a client that had a large portfolio. They were getting stomach aches over looking at the market going up and down, especially recently in our economy. And they didn't realize that they could still have the upsides, like without the downsides, and not encounter a tax consequence by doing so. They
Hmm.
thought that they would have to pay taxes if they moved their money. So I was able to show them that we want to position it in a way where they're going to leave behind most. He was close to retirement. He didn't have the time to make back those losses.
Yeah.
A better situation that I find that I'm proud of is there was a client who had health issues. They waited a little too long to get their long-term care in place. They thought they were out of luck. There are plans that you can leverage your IRA accounts, and now you have four times the amount of long-term care coverage. And the best part about that is instead of paying taxes on those tax-deferred accounts, it's going to come to you in a benefit in a tax-free form because it's now long-term care.
Awesome. Can you maybe share a little bit about your background or what about your background really qualifies you to work with these high net worth clients?
I'm glad you asked because I wasn't always in this industry. I've been here almost 13, 14 years, but I started off kind of lost and confused. And then I realized something, Len. Everyone around me was just as lost and confused. And I made it my duty, my obligation to master this industry so that I could bring this to the people I love and care about. So when I'm sitting with someone, I share my story. I share how I was able to get licensed and become one of the top leaders in the industry. because of being in that position of not being serviced, not being helped, and I had to seek it out. And I want everyone to know this information is available to everybody, but not everyone's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Can you share a little bit about why it's important for these high net worth clients that you work with to maybe work with somebody local versus out of the city or even out of state?
Well, if they're like me, they want a hug, they want a meal, they want to shake a hand. Here's the thing, Zoom is amazing. Look, you're in Pennsylvania, I'm in California. I wouldn't have known you if we didn't have the ability to get on Zoom. And
Yeah,
I am licensed in multiple states, probably close to 30 states in the US. There's nothing like my local clients that I actually can say, hey, let me come see your office. I come to their kids' birthday parties, their children's weddings, and vice versa. They come to my events and we know each other well. There's nothing like the human touch. But I don't want to say I'm exclusive to that, but I embrace that because we can actually become friends, not just, work partners.
yeah, yeah. I like that. What do your clients say they appreciate the most about working with you?
I always ask people, and I'll pose the question to you. What do you think is more valuable, being liked or being trusted?
I would say being trusted.
Exactly. But to get there, we have to be likable first.
That's right.
So, what my clients share with me, they say, Leah, I love that you're someone who cares, you listen, you remember things. I'll remember things about them that they shared. They thought they were just mentioning in passing, but that becomes part of a woven conversation for years to come, remembering their anniversaries, their birthdays, milestones. We follow each other on social media. I'm not just a removed person from their life, I'm in their life. And people today appreciate that. It's not like it was before where you had your person and you were closed off from them. With social media today, people are noticing and they want someone real. They want someone with a heartbeat that, is empathetic. And so I feel that they do like me and I'm very well trusted in many communities. And for me, that helps me sleep at night when I know I'm trusted. And I take that seriously.
Well, I can tell you're a people person and you develop deep, long-lasting friendships and relationships. What do you like the most about helping people with your financial services and solutions?
Well, I like that I can share with someone what I've done, what I've become. I did want to mention to another question, I was able to successfully graduate 5 business boot camps that, let's just give you a picture of that. 250 people enter, less than 10 graduate.
Mm,
So this is something that I'm determined and I can show somebody, listen, you can reinvent your life. Your finances can be that driving force to help you design the life that you so deserve. People forgot to dream. Somewhere along the line, we forgot that we get to design the life that we crave. And, with permission, this was a large world and God wants us to enjoy every aspect of it. I help people design that, go after it, achieve that. And I share my experiences, how because of the training I've had and I've positioned myself and built teams to help me help my clients. The teams I've put in place are with expert leaders, expert advisors, and more importantly, I'm a broker. So, as a broker, I have relationships with every single insurance and investment company that's A rated in the country. And that gives me a lot of options for my clients. I'm not just a one size fits all. I am going to look at what's the objective of the client, find the right fit, give them some options, not too many, they get confused, to kind of narrow it down.
yeah.
And begin to design their life for their children, grandchildren, great grandchildren.
Well, I love that. You kind of answered my last question, which is in part, if there's somebody in the Los Angeles area and they're looking for an advisor and they're trying to decide who they should trust, my question was going to be, what else would you want them to know about what it would be like to work with you? And I know you kind of answered that, but is there anything else that you would add on top of that answer?
I would say a lot of people focus on, oh, how much experience does this person have? Are they around 20, 30 years? Which is awesome. When someone is younger, let's say someone in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, find someone who has 30 years experience, is that individual going to be around for their children and grandchildren? Maybe, maybe not. And so longevity is important. Is someone in the know and advanced training, continuous training. You don't want a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Okay. You meet someone who's a little older and more experienced, they're going to be very successful, but they may advise all their clients the same thing, and they may not be learning the latest and the greatest of these products, like I've mentioned, comparing it to a smartphone. I have the 13. My kids have the latest. Maybe it's a 16, 17 by now. With products for retirement, it's the same way. You want someone who's old enough to know what they're doing and has experience, but young enough that they're constantly in training. They're going to be around for future generations, that the people that you love and care about most.
I love that you keep your finger on the pulse of, like you say, the latest and the greatest, highest level financial strategies, let's call them, in order to be able to help your clients, not just now, but what could be a legacy plan as well. So if you're watching, again, the NPRN only chooses experts in a given area that we know you have the highest opportunity to get to know, like, and trust. And so if you're interested in and or looking for a financial strategist, we highly recommend you reach out to Leah, ask any questions that you have, and we know she will be able to serve you at the highest level. Leah, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today, and I look forward to
My
another call with
pleasure.
you in the future.
Looking forward. Thank you.